Hello and welcome to the Northland. Today, oops, sorry about the camera. We are going to do an oil change on a 2022 Ford Escape. I've not done this before, so it shouldn't be too hard. But let's crawl underneath and get started. Obviously, the top is pretty self-explanatory, but we'll cover that later. Let's go underneath and see what it takes to get to this drain plug. All right, so there's the drain plug. This actually had a big cover over it, which I'll show you in a minute. It's actually got a space that you can just pull this plug out and let the oil drain, but it was way too small for my hand. I figured it was just better to take out all these bolts. There's like, I don't know, 14, 16, I don't know, something. I think I pulled out 13, or there were a couple missing already. But let me show you the cover here, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so this is the cover. Got to get back a little bit, but anyway, I think this is where you should be able to get your hand in and be able to pull that drain plug out, and it keeps it from, well, I think it's supposed to keep it from splattering all over the place. But I figure it's just easier and will be less messy to take all these bolts out, especially if you have an air ratchet or something to help you. So that's what I did. Like I said, I don't think you have to take this off. I think it's just easier. All right, let's see how much of a mess I made. We should just be able to unscrew this with our hand. I'm waiting for it to just come flying out. There we go. It's stiff. Here we go. Okay. Goes nothing. Messy. All right, so see, it comes out pretty fast. And we did make a mess. I'm always good at that. All right, so I think this is 4.5 quarts. I don't know, give or take. I'll look it up and make sure that I put the right number in here. And then the filter is right there, so that's easy to get to. And we'll go over that in just a second. All right, don't forget to check your coolant. Now, if your engine is warm, for those of you who've done this many times, I know you already know this, but for those of you who maybe haven't done many oil changes, you need to make sure that there's no pressure in your coolant system. So if you've driven it recently, make sure you release the pressure before you take this cap all the way off. Otherwise, coolant's going to come shooting out of here and you're going to get burned. And I've seen it to somebody before, and it isn't pretty. When we tried to cool him off and hose him down with cold water, his skin was literally falling off. So make sure you release the pressure in here before you open it. This car has not been driven in forever. Well, maybe not forever, but quite a while. And so I know there's no pressure built up in here. We take that off, and we grab our, again, I'm sorry for the terrible camera work, but until I can find a dedicated camera person, this is what we got. All right, we'll see. There we go. And we'll see. Hey, you don't need a fancy, super fancy coolant checker. This is just a basic, cheap thing I got from Napa probably or something, but we seem to be a little light on the antifreeze. So we might have to do a coolant flush here soon, or add some more if it doesn't look like it's low. So another thing, you got to make sure it's full. That's the expansion tank. So I think we will do a coolant flush. All right, you know what? I'm gonna call the dealership, because this is a new car for us. Yes, it's used, but I'm gonna see if maybe part of their maintenance before they sold it, I want to see if they changed the coolant. So, all right, and then we're gonna fill the window wash. Come over here. We tended the battery. It's a maintenance-free battery, so we just put some anti-corrosion stuff on here. Check the brake fluid level. Let's see if we can see where it's at. Okay, so we are right in between. I don't know if you can see the line. It says max towards the top of it, but we're we're right in between, so that's good. And then we're going to check the air filter right here, and obviously put oil in it. And we will, I got to take the oil filter off yet. I'll show you that in just a second. Don't forget to put your drain plug back in, by the way. Otherwise, you're going to be putting oil in, and it's going to be running out all over the floor. You don't want that, trust me. Oop, there's my terrible camera work again. Make sure we wipe off any residual oil here. Now we got to drain this over here so I can limit the mess I'm going to make. And let's see here. Figure out which way we're going here. I think it's this way. Let me see. I didn't try it. Sometimes you can, no, wrong way. You can, here, I'll try it with my hand first, but nope. My hands hurt too bad to do that anymore. If you got good hands, strong hands, you might be able to just take it off with your hand. But, oh, what are they doing? I'm going the wrong way with it. Duh. What a dork. All right. Maybe if we go the right way with it, it'll be easier, right? Look at that. Oh. That was on there pretty tight as it was. All right, I should be able to get it with my hand now. Again, I'm sorry about this camera. I can't hold the camera and see what I'm doing at the same time. All right, we got oil drainage. Now, if you're new to oil changes, or if you have not done them very often yourself, there's a couple of safety precautions that you need to be aware of. One, you want to make sure that there's no gasket left on here. Now, I don't feel one, and I can look at the filter, and I can see that gasket is still on the filter. Sometimes the gasket will come off the filter and remain stuck here, and then you put the new filter on, and you'll be driving down the highway, and the oil's going to start spraying out everywhere, and by the time your light goes off and you realize it, it's going to be too late. So make sure there is no gasket left behind there. And then, oh, and one other thing is when you put the new filter on, make sure you oil up the gasket before you put it on here. That will help you to remove it next time. All right, here we go. Brand new filter. FL910. Oh, I was going to... Well, I'll tell you when I put them back on. I'll tell you what size the socket you need to remove those bolts. So, okay, so here's a filter. Got a new gasket on there. I'm just going to dip this in here. I usually do it with my finger. But we just want to make sure that just a little bit of oil all over that gasket. And we'll stick it back up here. And yes, I will wipe it off. All right. My hands, especially since I'm doing this one-handed, this has become quite the job. I feel sorry for somebody who wants to do their own oil change but might only have one arm or one hand. That's got to be difficult, I would think. So my heart goes out to those with disabilities, especially to their arms and hands. Okay, so I'm going to put it on. My finger tight ain't what it used to be. I'm going to put it on finger tight, and then I'm just going to back it off maybe 1/8 of a turn or so, just so that I know it's not crazy on there. Okay, so that's done. Plugs in. Now we can go put oil in it. One other thing that I will do while I am under here, I'll flip you around here, be easier. So the other thing that I'll do while I'm under here and have this cover removed is look for any leaks. Okay, check your CV joints on both sides. Again, note any leaks so that you can have them addressed when you need to. Look for coolant leaks, anything in the transaxle. This isn't, oh, it is four-wheel drive, so we'll have to go back and check the rear end. And that should be, well, we'll also check the exhaust system, make sure there's no leaks or severe corrosion, so we can have that addressed if we need to. And like I said, just make sure everything is intact. Check your belt. It's probably easier to check that from the top side, but you can notice if there's any cracks along the edge. And that should be it. And then we just have to put oil in it, make sure there's no leaks, put the cover back on, should be good to go. All right, so we're going to put in 4.5 quarts of 5W20, and I'm going to put you down before this is, or turn you off before this is done, so that I can pay attention to what I'm doing, and then we'll pick up the camera here in a minute. All right, we got our 4.5 quarts of good Valvoline 5W20. There is a handy measuring on the back. Of course, you got to have it level, but actually, we might have to put another 1/2 quart or so in. I think we've got about 4 quarts in it now, maybe a little bit more. But before I put any more in, we're going to put the cap back on here. And then start it up, check for leaks, and then we'll check the oil level after it's off the ramps and sitting for a little bit. And, like I said, don't forget to check your air filter. On the Escape, there's just 2 latches. On the 22 anyway. One here, one on this, on this side over here, right there, that deal. And then it just slides kind of this way and you can pry up. This air filter looks real good. Brand new, I think. So we'll put this back in, should be good to go. All right, let's fire this bad boy up and make sure there are no leaks. Okay, we're going to watch the lights. Make sure all the lights go off, oil lights. No warnings, that's good. Now we're going to check underneath. Make sure we don't have oil spilling out all over the place. Everything looks good there. Now when we get underneath to put the cover up, we will make sure that nothing is seeping out while it was running. So here we are with the cover back installed. Make sure you don't crank these down real hard. Again, these are small bolts. It's a 7mm socket, by the way. But these are easy to break. I already broke one. So when you're putting them back in, if you're going to use air, make sure you stop short so it doesn't break the bolt. So anyway, that's what it is installed. I think, like I said, I think that hole is meant for the oil to drain out, but I think it would get awfully messy if you tried to do it that way. A couple other things we're going to do before we're done. I just took it off the ramp, so we're going to let it sit for a minute before we check the oil so that we can make sure it's got an accurate reading. We are going to obviously check the, I shouldn't say obviously maybe, but we're going to check the tire pressure. Now, I don't know if anybody knows, the pressure that's written on the tire is not necessarily what should be on your car. That's just from the tire manufacturer for a safe tire inflation pressure. To get the pressure that should be on your car, it's going to be on the sticker inside the driver's door jamb. Let me flip you around. So here it is. This is one of them. It says front 33 psi, rear 33 psi, spare 60 psi. There's another one up here you can look. Let's see, where is it? At least it used to be up here. Yeah. So I'm trying to read this. Oh God, my camera's not even on here. See, I can't do crap. 33 psi, there it is, right there. 33 psi cold. So there's two stickers under here. So if yours doesn't have, say, this one, you can find it on this one, vice versa. But you should have this one on here for sure, because this has got your VIN number on it. So the other thing I like to do make sure all the lights work. Obviously, when you are driving, you don't necessarily know. You might know when a headlight goes out, but you don't necessarily know if a turn signal goes on. Now, I know a lot of newer cars will let you know if a turn signal goes out. It might tell you even which one. On the Jury back there, the Bronco, it just flashes real fast, so you know there's a problem. Then you just have to find which one it is. When I start this back up, after I verify the oil level, that's when I will go around. That'll be the last thing I do. Also, we will put a reminder sticker in. And the reason we do that is because I don't trust the oil life gauges in the car. That's not necessarily real world. That's just a generic, hey, it's been a while, change your oil. So you got to make sure you reset that as well. But I also like to put one of those in because that way it's easier for me to keep track of the mileage. The other thing I will do on there is, since I did not do a tire rotation this time, is I'll put a little T on there and circle it. You can put whatever you want that you'll know what it is. I just put a T on there and circle it. That reminds me that, hey, on this oil change, I need to do a tire rotation, or at least measure the tires to see if they need a rotation. I can't remember. Recommended is like 7 to 9,000 miles, I think, is the general practice for doing a tire rotation, or at least that's what it used to be. I don't know if they've changed it since then, but that's what I go by. All right, let's check. I might have to, let's see if I can, I don't know if I can do this one-handed. I'm trying. Okay, so we'll wipe the old oil off of it so that we make sure we get an accurate reading. Where did it go? There it is. We'll stick it back in there. Maybe. There we go. Oops, I've got the camera. Sorry. Back in there, pull it out. And check. Where are we at? It's not focusing real well. Let me see. All right, I'm going to have to put you down. All right, it's on the almost the highest hole. I don't know if you can see it. Was it 1, 2, 3? So it's covering the 4th hole. It's almost full. So disregard what I said earlier about 4.5 quarts. Not sure why I thought that. I think I read that somewhere, but that was wrong. Because after I put 5 quarts in it, it still wasn't showing on the stick. I guess I should have verified beforehand. So this is a 2-liter. And it takes, I put in about 6.5 quarts. Now that's with a filter change. So note to self, 6.5 quarts, 5W20. I prefer Valvoline. You can use whatever you want, or whatever brand you prefer. But again, 2-liter, 2022 Ford Escape, about 6.5 to 6.7 quarts. And that should do it. Don't forget to put your dipstick back, oil cap back on. And that's about it. I don't think there's anything I'm forgetting. When you do rotate your tires, besides checking the tread level to make sure if your tires are still good, that's when you should also check your brakes and brake pads. Make sure that everything is functioning, you don't have any leaks. And if you're going to need a brake job soon, that's the time to start planning for it to try and save yourself some money. So that way you don't have to buy new rotors and stuff, hopefully. I believe that about cover. Oh, I gotta reset that light. I'm gonna figure that out, and then I'll bring it back on and show you how to redo that. And I'm gonna try and remember how to do this now. First thing you need to do, turn your engine to accessory. So don't start the engine, just turn everything on. Go to your information cluster here. I think she's got this set on her view. We're gonna go to, I think it's actually, maybe we don't have to do that. Just hold on a second. Bear with me. This is all new. Down to information. Okay. There we go. So information, hit the menu button, oil life pops up. Okay. It was at, I think, 30% or something. So then you just hit OK to reset the oil life. I'll do it again here just for the hell of it. And then hold OK to reset. And it goes through its little deal. Oil life reset brings you back to 100%. Then you can just go back to whatever it is screen you prefer. All right. All right, a couple people I want to welcome to the family. Excuse me. I'm afraid this first one, you know I am with names. I'm afraid I'm going to butcher this. If I do, I apologize. Correct me in the comments below if you would. Yes, sir. Abdulatif, something like that. I apologize if I'm getting that all wrong. And Robert Murray. So thank you for subscribing, and I hope that you will find these videos maybe a little entertaining, maybe a little informative at times, maybe just a little weird. So anyway, everybody please make them welcome. And I want to thank all my subscribers. You guys are just awesome, and I appreciate. So I hope you liked that video. Please smash that like and subscribe, even if you didn't like the video. Oh, we're all crooked here. Make sure you share it with somebody, anybody, especially if they have a Ford Escape or a 22 Ford Escape, or maybe they need to do an oil change. Anyway, you get the picture. Make sure you tap the little bell at the bottom after you hit subscribe. That way you'll be notified when I upload a new video, which I try to do weekly. Hopefully now that summer's here, or just about here, we'll get be more on schedule with videos. But anyway, again, hit that like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. We'll see you in the next video.